Good morning everyone, my name's the Ginger Magician. I'm just making this video because a lot of people seem to have a lot of questions about custom campaigns and the settings that they should be using or could be using. So I just quickly wanted to just explain the settings in Roguetech so that everybody had a little bit of a wider grasp of exactly what happens and how it happens, especially because with the new patch we have faction based starting, which is actually relevant, and it's massively relevant, and I'll explain why. So the first thing you're going to see is this box at the top, and this box at the top is Iron Man mode, mech parts required, unequipped mechs, and skip prologue. You don't have to worry about skip prologue if you're not doing a story. Iron Man mode is interesting. It basically saves at the start of a mission, saves at the end of a mission, and then saves at key points if you're traveling. And you only have one save, so you can't go back. There's no, my pilot died, I'm going to reload. There's no, it's very unforgiving. If your mech dies, you can't get it back. If your pilot dies, you can't get it back. If one of your items gets critted during a mission, you can't get it back. It's quite unforgiving. So one tiny bit of bankruptcy, you're out. You're out of there. Mech parts required is how many mech parts it requires for you to assemble a mech. There's only 3 options here. There is another box here, which I'll explain in a second. This is 3, 5, and 8. This is what most people would use. 5. It's the middle ground. It's the medium level. 3 is, it's pretty simple. You can get a mech almost every mission if you choose to do so, and of course that's fine. 8 is for struggle. Yeah, if you want to struggle, take 8. This is one of the things that's new. It's the starting planet, and as you can see, you have quite a few choices here. So that's one thing that you have to consider now, is where you wish to start. So you can go Urkine, you can go Mercenary, Steinar, Davian, Karita, Marek, Liao, Razelhaug, the clans, St. Ives, Oberon, Taurian, Magistery, Outworld, Circinius, Marian, Lothian, Oregon, Castile, Channy Lane, Alicia, Hansa, Yarnafolk, Tortuga, Valkyrie, and Oxmeat. I'm saying that one wrong. I know I am. I'm sorry. Don't hate me. Or in fact, correct me in the comments. That's fine. Do one of those spell out things. But this is a huge, big change that everybody needs to know about, because this directly affects where you start on the map. And, well, that has a lot of bearing, which is something I'll be explaining in my next video. This parts for mech assembly is the same as this one, but you can change it to basically a fine-tuned amount. So if you don't want to do 3, 5, or 8, you've got 6, 7, and 4 here. This is the same thing. So, as I've found, at least from my experience, mech recovery chance is pretty self-explanatory. When your mech gets destroyed, this is the percentage chance you have of being able to recover it, or if your pilot gets killed in mech through a lethal headshot. You can alter this all the way up to 100% and down to 0%. Most people would just keep it at this or put it up to about 50% because it's kind of fair, right? Enemy force strength. So this is how the AI works and how they aggressive they are and what they do and their hit chances and stuff. So you can see it goes all the way from very easy to Spank Me, which is pretty interesting. The changes in difficulties will bring you a lot more challenges in the game. At the start, I would probably suggest you start at somewhere around normal or hard. If you found the vanilla campaign easy, I would start at hard. So just to let you know. Contract variants. So if you're starting a custom campaign, you are actually going to be in a sandbox environment doing campaigns, raising your mech company and traveling around the inner sphere, and some new places which have been recently added. Again, I'll cover that in my next video. If you're new, I would I would leave contract variants at 2, because that way it's only going to be slightly above or slightly below what your current lance level is, or the planet level is. Contract payment is normal. You can set it to generous, stingy, and cheapskate. It basically defines how much money you get from the contracts. Salvage, again, generous, stingy, normal. It's exactly the same. When you do a mission, it defines how much you get from that mission. So, commander experience points. This defines how much your mech commander, the one that you create just after this screen, gets when you start a mission. So, advanced mech warriors are things like the Kickstarter mech warriors, and the other one is the run-ins. So this basically defines when you go into the hiring hall what mech warriors are there. So you can either set these to come up, the run-in and the mech warriors. You can set them to come up more regularly if you choose to, rather than just having the plain pirates to start from. Pilots per system is pretty obvious. It's the pilots per hiring hall. You can change that from 10, I believe, down to 1, sorry. So yeah, it's good. Mech warrior progression is how quickly your mech warriors need to level up from this to this to this to this to next. It's basically how quick they level up. A mech warrior exponent. This setting controls the exponent of raising XP cost per level. So this basically changes how much XP it costs to go from this skill to this skill. Yeah. So if you've got it on easy, it's going to be 2 missions. If you've got it on hard, it's going to be 4 missions, 6 missions, and so on and so forth. So I hope I explained that clearly. The Mech Warrior multiplier, just let me highlight it. This setting controls a multiplier of XP cost per level, which is almost the same as this one. It's just this is the cost and this is the multiplier. So lethality. Again, these are settings in Roguetech you need to get used to. When your pilot gets headshot, when your pilot falls down 3 times and only has 3 health blips, they basically die. They get incapacitated. The same thing that you do to the other mechs, the enemy mechs. And it's quite tough. I would usually have it on normal. That's what I would do. If you're new to the game, I would set it probably down to half, because there's one thing that you don't want is your pilots getting killed straight away in a new game. Starting money defines how much money you have at the start of the game. I always start on 25, sometimes on 18. It can go all the way up to 65. These are millions, by the way, so just so that everybody knows. This is 6.5 million, this is 4 million, this is 3.2, this is 2.5, and this is 1.8. So, mech base speed. This defines how quickly your mechs get built in your mech bay. The mech bay armor speed. It defines how quickly your armor gets repaired, and so on and so forth. Mech base C-bills, it defines the cost that it costs to repair, to construct, to change your mechs. So if you wanted to change gear, it would define how much that would cost. So Argo monthly payment defines how much the C-bills is going to be per month. which could be quite difficult at the start, because you have to pay rent on your Argo. You can upgrade bits of the Argo to change that, which is quite easy. But at the start, if this is your first game and you found the starting campaign difficult, I would go easy with this straight away. If you thought it was okay, you dealt with it fine, go on normal, because it is going to be a difference. It is going to be a change. If you found it was very, very easy in the vanilla campaign, I would go hard. But be warned, it's a challenge. Monthly morale is your morale levels on the Argo. This defines how easy it is to gain and lose morale. So be aware of that. It's basically the same as this. Just choose it based on your base game experiences. If you've just bought this game to play Roguetech, I would suggest you do everything on easy or normal, because it's a steep learning curve. This one is probably one of the most interesting things here. Shop selling prices. This defines the percentage of how much you are allowed to sell things in shop from their value in game. So, and the scrap return values also defines what you can scrap mech parts for in game. I tend to adjust these. So in my playthroughs, I would put this at 13% and this at 20%. Boom. That's what I would do, because if I get a mech and I construct it, I don't expect to be able to scrap it for the same value I can sell it. If I repair it and put time and effort into it, I would expect to get more money back from it. It's a more realistic trading system for me. So this is shop inventory, and this is max specials per shop. Specials are like plus items. Later, you used to be able to acquire clan tech from here, but you can't anymore. So this is the amount of specials per shop, and this is the amount of inventory per shop. That defines how much stuff there is to buy. When you go to a new planet, it randomly generates this amount, and then that is what you have to be able to buy from that pool. But it also has other varying factors what's available in the shop, and I know that the Roguetech crew are working on some other changes at the moment as well. But anyways, yeah, I just wanted to make that short video so you guys all understood a little bit better about exactly how the new game difficulties work, because I've had quite a few questions about it. This is going to be my first ever YouTube video. I should sell out and say subscribe and give the video a like, but I think I would much prefer for you guys to give me criticism below. If I've said something wrong, if I've done something wrong, or if you don't like the way the video is edited, please let me know, because this is my first attempt. I usually stream on Twitch. So yeah, all right. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Goodbye.